Okay, we're going to talk about 80% AR receivers, polymer 80 kits, and solvent traps. As many of you who have been following the channel know, I did videos about all three of these things, and YouTube has a habit of changing the policy to where when I made these videos years ago, all of a sudden they changed their policy, and next thing you know I'm being suspended for something that's been hanging around on the website for years. So my personal policy on the channel is I went, after this last suspension, deleted everything. Anything to do with changing or building AR-15s to all the 80% projects. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because last week or something, the president said that he was going to put regulations out there to ban all this stuff. And there are several other channels that follow this more closely. There's actually a lawyer, if you go find him, there's a lawyer in DC that is in contact with the ATF, and he gives you clear, concise legal advice on what is going on. So I guess these regulations were supposed to ban everything, and then everybody went into a panic, and it was on the news, and the president said, I'm putting an end to this once and for all. And what it all kind of come down to is what they mean by regulation. They're not changing a law. They're changing the definition of what 80% and all this other stuff is. And it was all a bunch of BS. And there was another channel that the guy was watching it. And what it ended up being is the only thing they really, and the way he defines it when he finishes his video, is you can still get 80% receivers. You can still buy the tooling, you can still get polymer 80 frames, but the one thing that they're not going to allow you to do is the buy, build, shoot kits, where you get everything needed, all the parts, pieces, tooling, where you buy it all in one kit. Those kind of have been outlawed. And, or like he said, you're not going to see anybody offering them. Okay, which is weird in a way. So it's kind of like they're trying to do something they can't enforce, and they come up with some BS to where they won't allow you to sell everything at one lot. Okay, you could still go buy the stuff separately from different places and accumulate it, but they just don't want it all that easy. Now, solvent traps, different story. What they do is change the definition on them, okay, to where they define them as firearm components or suppressor components, even though they're not finished. See, and that's how they get you on that. But as far as what you will see, really no change, all a bunch of BS and that. But still, be careful. I myself wash my hands of it. I don't deal with any of it no more. I don't answer questions. I don't make videos on the topic anymore. I mean, yes, you know, a lot of people did it for the fun, or to say, hey, you know, I went and finished one myself or something. You know, there's a couple people I know that did that. But then again, there are people that were cranking out illicit lower receivers with no serial numbers on them. Somewhere locally here, there was an individual doing that, and he got caught, okay, by the ATF and was shut down. You know, but he had a business, you know, so that's what you got to watch out for. But I think I thought I'd bring it up and discuss it. And again, my personal policy is I no longer make any videos. I don't answer any questions. Everyone's been pretty good about it. I very rarely have anyone send an email or mention it in the comments or talk about anything, and I don't. Just because personally, I don't need the hassle. You know, I have no problems going out and buying a finished receiver, okay, from Anderson or somewhere, which basically costs about the same as the 80%, you know, and I go to a dealer, fill out the forms and buy it, you know. Same with, you know, the handguns. You can get a used Glock pistol, which is just about the same thing what you're doing with a polymer 80, you know, used for less money than building a kit. And, you know, it generally works better. The polymer 80 kits, some of them you have to fool with and break them in, and that before you get them functioning 100%. So, again, I mean, it's nice to do it as a project in the hobby, but when they're starting to make it such a hassle now that, you know, you're exposing yourself to a lot of grief over something, you know, it's just don't make any sense, you know. So be careful with them out there. Really nothing's happened, and again, when this all come out, all the people making these said hurry up, we'll ship you whatever before they're banned and outlawed and everything. And again, they create a panic and basically, you know, just sucker people out of their money. Alright, so, you know, that's my thoughts on it, guys. Stay tuned.